Welcome back to the Freemouse MC YouTube channel, and I am here with a motorcycle that I not thought about it much until now, and that is the Harley Davidson Road Glide, and in specific the Limited. And we also have here the Street Glide. But now standing here, I'm surprisingly hyped about these motorcycles because they're pretty big. What an enormous motorcycle, how it's standing here in front of me. And here in Malaga, in the beautiful landscape of Spain, I get to ride this motorcycle, and it's difficult to read out the specs of these machines because there's so much stuff that comes with these motorcycles, because basically Harley Davidson is going for something like a bit of the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles here with this one, because there's a huge DFT dash, you can listen to music, there's a cigarette lighter in the back, like not a normal electrical port, a real thing that you could use for a cigarette lighter. That's pretty cool. And I'm going to be riding this bike today, and I already really like the looks of it. With this enormous front fairing, and it's the Limited, that is to celebrate 250 years of United States. And it has also this lower fairing here, and this lower fairing looks really good and has the fog lights in it, and it also works in keeping some wind off your legs, and I just really enjoy the whole package, especially with being able to listen to some music. It has the Milwaukee 8 engine, the 117 in the European units that's close to 2 liters of displacement, which is quite crazy, and it comes in with 177 newton meters of torque, and that at 3,500 RPM and 106 horsepower at, let me check, 4,600. It's quite a lot of power down low. It weighs a lot with almost, it's I think around 380 kilos. That is the rough dry weight of the motorcycle. The operational weight of the Harley Davidson Road Glide is 417 kilos, and with that it's 6 kilos lighter than its previous model. With the Harley Davidson Street Glide coming in at a weight of 405 kilos, being 12 kilos lighter than the previous model, with the majority of the weight being taken from the windshield. I'm going to now sit on this motorcycle before we take it out for a ride. And for context, I'm quite tall. I'm 1.95 meters, and this is the bike for me. This is why I'm hyped about this, because this fits perfectly. I don't look small on this motorcycle. One of my British colleagues was earlier sitting on it, and everyone was like, oh, that's a quite big bike. However, this is perfect. So let's see how this handles on the road. Riding a Harley Davidson Road Glide is genuinely a one-of-a-kind experience, riding such a heavy motorcycle and being in control of it, and just the feedback from the engine. Really, any motorcycle rider should give this a try at least once, even if you're not really into Harleys. The motorcycle comes with an adjustable rear suspension from Showa, which also is adjustable without any tools, so you can adjust it on the go, and in the front we have a progressive fork. So now back from the ride, and it turns out really the Road Glide is for me my favorite, because just the way of accelerating out of the turns and how the bike lifts itself up and you have the view on this gorgeous enormous fairing, and it's just so fun to drive this motorcycle. Like, yes, it's really heavy, but it's part of the fun of just being able to maneuver this enormous ship of a bike. It was such an enjoyable experience. The bike comes with 4 power modes, and one of them is rain. We had to use that one a bit. That works well. It tones down the power a bit, even though low down this thing still has so much power that you can really feel it when you give it a bit too much gas when clutching into a lower gear. And also one thing is the tires work well on dry road, not so much on the wet pavement. However, it could also be a little bit the roads here. I really enjoyed my time with this motorcycle. I really like the design of both of these bikes, especially here with this lower fairing, with the fog lights in it, and also all these aerodynamic pieces are adjustable so that you can have as much wind on your body as you need from a heat standpoint if it's really, really warm. And it was designed in an air tunnel, and you can really feel that because that works so well, and also the wind barely interrupts the music. I tried the music system a bunch, and it's something totally different. Usually you don't have this on a motorcycle, and it's a different experience from listening to music with headphones, and that works really well. And with the 200 watt and 4-channel system, like I was earlier listening to Bad to the Bone on the highway going over 100, and it worked so incredibly well. And in that regard, I'm a big fan of this motorcycle. I before didn't really get it, and like I think it's so great for day-to-day riding, even though it has to be said, once the bike is standing still, there's no way of reversing it, because it's tough to push around. It's definitely tough to push around, but once it's moving, it's a really, really good time. And I also love these enormous saddlebags. It has, if I'm not mistaken, 144 liters. I googled earlier, a VW Golf has like 380. So we're looking at 1/3 of that, which is quite crazy. And so often when I was camping, I was seeing other people camp with these bikes, and they always had the biggest tents and could stand upright in their tents. And I was like, how are they doing that? Yeah, because they have this much luggage room. And it's so cool also that there's storage space in the fairing here at the front, and you can put so many things everywhere. And also that like stuff like the background of the DFT dash is adjustable, and it's just a really fun experience to ride. If we now compare it to the Street Glide, the Street Glide has a few things that are now nicer about it on the 2026 model, and that is that the inner part of the fairing is painted in like black piano paint, it seems like. That works really well. There also was on the test ride was one of the Street Glides with an Öhlins suspension setup, and the Öhlins suspension setup worked really, really well. It improved the riding, and especially kind of the difference between these two. They're pretty close together, but the difference is this one has a bit of a different handlebar, and this handlebar is easier to just like push into the turns. So with it being the Street Glide, this is not more suited for city riding, even though you can still go on the big tour. Well, this is for the highway. And so often on a big motorcycle trip, you go somewhere and then you need to go back, and this is the bike for it. Because like if you need to clear 1,000 kilometers in one day, that's the bike to do it on. And I gotta say, I am very convinced by this motorcycle. I didn't expect this. I had really a good time. Really, really enjoyed it. It was just lovely to ride. And I was not a Harley fan before. And it kind of converted me to liking Harleys, at least the really big ones. Like also the engine has so much character with it. Like usually when you have all these electronic systems, it's kind of like, kind of characterless, and it loses a lot through that. This one doesn't. The engine is so much fun. It gives you so much feedback. It's such an intense experience. It also like all the contact points, like when you interact with them, they feel so heavy. They feel so heavy, but like in a good way. Like you're properly like almost stomping on the heel shifter, and like the levers feel heavy. It's really fitting for the bike. I really like it. In general, really good bike. Quite happy with it. Definitely leave your opinion on the Harley Davidson Road and Street Glide down in the comments, and see you guys in the next video.